Have you ever imagined a god without hands but still loves to eat and eats the most? Have you ever imagined a god without legs but still travels a great distance? Well, I know these might sound a little shocking to you all, but I'm also sure that you all have guessed the answer right. This is none other than Lord Jagannath. Who is Jagannath now? That's an enchanting name, but who is he? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you all about today. I'll divide this video into 3 parts. In the first part, I'll tell you, how did this Jagannath form even come into existence? What is the story behind it? In the second part, I'll tell you which king or which devotee is responsible for making a temple for these beautiful deities. And in the third part of the video, I'll tell you all amazing, fun and shocking facts about this place. So let's begin. So this was the time Rohini Mata, that is Balram's mother, had visited Dwarka. When she went there, the queens of Krishna went to her and requested to narrate the stories of Lord Krishna to them. That's his pastimes. But now Rohini Mata, it was her pleasure to do that, to narrate the stories. But she had a condition. She told them that if Lord Krishna and Balram hear the stories, they'll be filled with ecstasy. The story could enchant them. That is why Subhadra Mai, that is Lord Krishna's sister, has to be made the doorkeeper. Everything was happening according to their plan. Rohini Mata was narrating and Subhadra Mai was the doorkeeper. But the story indeed was as enchanting as she has said, and that is why even Subhadra Mai got lost into the story. Katha ne unka man moh liya. And now Krishna and Balram are coming. Nobody notices them. The story is on and on and on. Krishna and Balram are listening and they're filled with ecstasy. This ecstasy and this, curiosity made their eyes open wide and their bodies shrink, making their hands and legs go inside. That is how this beautiful deity came into existence. Now that the deities were completely complete, Narada Muni went to the Lord and requested him to share his mercy in that form to his devotees. Bhagwan thodi na apne bhakton ko na bolne wale hai. He agreed. Now let's hear the story of him incarnating in the temple. Now that you know about the existence and how this deity came into being, let me tell you which devotee was responsible to make a temple for them. So this was King Indradyumna Maharaj, who was a big devotee of the Lord as well, who sent his minister Vidyapati on a mission to know more about Lord Neelmadhav. Now the whole problem was that the tribal people worshipped Lord Neelmadhav and they did not allow anybody to have darshan of Neelmadhav. But now Vidyapati knew, राजा ने मुझे काम दिया है तो मुझे कुछ भी करके उनको satisfaction दिलाना ही है. So he knew that he had to give the king darshan. So he went to the tribal leader and married his daughter. And now his only job that was left was to convince his father-in-law to allow him to get the darshan. His father-in-law took him, but on a condition that he had to blindfold himself, so he does not know the way from where they are going. Vidyapati was very smart. He blindfolded himself, of course, but he had those seeds in his hand, so he dropped them on the way he was going. So when he came back and he took the king for the second time, he just had to follow the seeds. But now when they reached over there, the king went into ultimate depression because the deity was not there. It was gone. That was just the karma because he had cheated. The king had cheated. He was not allowed to go there. It was a literal invasion of the tribal's privacy and rules. But now there was an Akashvani that took place. The voice of the Lord that took place. And it said, "Oh my dear devotee, you need not worry. You will find a log of food floating on the river. Make my deity out of that." This king was very happy. He rushed to the river to get the wood. He got it and he called the best carpenters of his kingdom to come and carve the wood. But none of them were able to carve it. Not even a single person. King went into tension again. Now, the god, Vishwakarma, that he's the architect god, he disguised himself as an old man and he came down to earth. And he told the king that he would help him carve the deity. The king must be thinking, मेरे सारे नए कारपेंटर लोग ये कर नहीं पा रहे, बुड्ढा क्या कर दिखाएगा? But this Lord Vishwakarma disguised as an old man, somehow convinced him with a condition that nobody should enter the room while I am carving. I want my privacy. Now the king was like, okay, sure, go ahead. As long as my deities are there, I have no problem. The old man went in, started carving. When you carve, there's an awaz, there's this noise which comes. That noise was there for the first few days. But later on, the noise stopped coming. The king's wife insisted the king to go and check. Is the carpenter alive? Is he okay? Has he fainted? He's old. He has not had food for so many days. The king goes and checks. He sees that Lord Vishwakarma is not there. Just because, he had put the condition that no one should enter. And the king entered and he was gone. Now, the king was again in depression. Arey, maine kya kar diya? The deity was getting carved so nicely. But now it is incomplete because of me. That night, he gets a dream where Lord comes and tells him that, oh, don't worry, devotee. It was my wish to appear and incarnate in that form. That is how Jagannath Ji came in the temple, with his eyes open wide and his hands and legs still shrinked, incomplete. So my dear friends, don't forget to visit Jagannath Puri. Getting the darshan of the Lord is the best experience you can ever have. So friends, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Jai Jagannath!